Good morning. I'm ready to go. I need to go northwest, that's right. And okay, if sun rises in the east, that means that north is okay, it's possible I don't need the boat. The first part of this journey shall be on foot. That's fine. Yum yum. Oh yeah, there is some more water as well then. Aha. Almost there. Let's see if I dig up some of the sand and then use it to prevent the water from flowing in. Oh, that's quick. I was worried about how I was going to dig under all this water, but it looks like I can just about reach the chest from the surface here. Whoa. Look at all these. Let's see then. Gold, iron, diamonds, emeralds, potion of water breathing, cooked cod and salmon, heart of the sea, a leather tunic, and a book and quill. Let's see, what's this? A curious look under the earth. List of ore. Scattered throughout the world. Resources. I'll read this when I get home. Might as well wear this. Nice and warm. Huh. You know. Might as well take the box with me too. Let's see. Yes, I should. Well. Yes, I didn't exactly consider in my initial list of priorities that I might need a little infrastructure for myself. But first, speaking of books, let's have a look. A curious look under the earth. List of ore. Introduction. Scattered throughout our world are many useful resources, always embedded within stone or deep slate, a variety of colours, most of which have practical uses, and without which our society could not have reached its current splendour. Even those with no apparent use whatsoever are treasures, their beauty enhancing the quality of our lives. Here we list each one, along with its uses and known effects. Discoveries are made along the way, as this book was written during times of great change. That's interesting. As a result, some information in chapters labelled Part 1 is proven outdated, but we chose to publish in this form to show the full record of this small slice of our world's history. Interesting. I love books. Coal. I already know that one. Easiest to find of all ores, this dark and dusty rock stores a great deal of energy. When used as fuel in a furnace, its fire burns for long enough to cook or smelt 8 items. But this consumption is highly inefficient compared to other uses of coal. If provoked in just the right way by a sharp stick, the item can burn bright for many ages, effectively indefinitely. Of course. These torches, they don't burn out, do they? Copper. Found both as clumps and large veins deeper down, this ore glistens with 2 strikingly different colours, teal and orange. When smelted, it produces shiny bars of pure orange, but when those are compacted into blocks and placed in the open air, a thin layer of teal gradually grows to cover the block. This block can be carved into many shapes, and its versatility of both texture and colour makes it perfect for decoration. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I already have some, so... Wait. Keep reading. Decoration. However, it may also have use in the machines of the future. A thin rod of copper, placed anywhere outdoors, will attract lightning during a thunderstorm, which many inventors believe may one day allow us to harness that electric power. Conductive, huh? Well, of course it is. The Red Stone, Part 1. Although appearing as dark red gems embedded in the walls of a cave, this material is actually extremely fragile. Once separated from the surrounding slate, no amount of care taken can prevent the gems from crumbling into dull red dust. The dust is slightly sticky, but sticks more to itself than anything else, and can be easily washed away with water. When scattered on the ground, it tends to very closely resemble dried blood. Okay. Well, if it's... No, they would say if it actually was, wouldn't they? Lapis Lazuli Part 1. This gem is less fragile than the red stone, but is still easily crushed into brilliant blue powder, useful for paint, dye, and little else. Okay, that sounds about right. Emerald. This gleaming green gem is found, rarely, deep within tall mountains. Most of them must have been mined out. Perhaps they were far more abundant in the past. It is our currency, as it is truly impossible to create a forgery. Oh, that's interesting. So this is the money of this world. I have 14 money. What are these? I imagine they'll probably mention them as well later on. Where was I? Page 13. All emeralds are the exact same size and shape, but each one displays unique crystal patterns within. When still embedded in the cave walls, they are sometimes called the eyes of the mountains. Green eyes. Okay. Lapis Lazuli Part 2. Additional properties of the blue dust have been discovered. An individual has fled our town, and we were unable to make a full note of said individual's ramblings. It would seem that, possibly, writing a book using lapis in place of ink allows one to make an exchange of memories. Further research is needed to be certain of this, but far more than that, great care must be taken, as such the individual shall not be named in this book in case the reader is tempted to seek them out. Fair. Fine, that's fine there. Yeah, what? When was this book written? How recent are these developments? That's concerning. Well, Redstone Part 2, soon after the individual fled, strange things have started happening. Among other things unrelated to this book, the red dust now glitters a strange light, and more discoveries have been made. Just a few examples. Some of the dust was stored in compressed blocks, which now seem to radiate a faint warmth. Dust placed near these blocks now glows brightly. This activated dust can open doors by itself, or force the normally soft leaves of the dripleaf plant to stay in one solid shape, no matter how much weight is placed upon them. It would seem that a magical energy has entered our world, and with it, monsters. But as I've said, that's not relevant for this book. Okay, so that's interesting. Things have happened in this world to make it more interesting before I arrived. Yes, that's something I've got experience with. But, the experiment with memories and lapis lazuli caused the activation of the red stone and the appearance of monsters. That seems to be the implication. Well, there's still a few pages to go. Let's see what happened next. Iron. Found in clumps at high mountain peaks or in thick veins at the depths. Once smelted, this metal can be forged into a variety of useful items. Prison bars for containing the infected, doors that even they cannot break down, automatons to guard us from them, as well as armor, tools and weapons, and anvils to repair them. I haven't had much time for writing since the outbreak, but I promised myself when our world recovers from this setback I will have something to publish. Right. The development of this book during historical events, yes. And this town that I'm in right now, that was mostly abandoned with a few zombies wandering around. But how... Is this book from here, or has this happened elsewhere as well, or... Lapis Lazuli Part 3. The individual's new home was found, seemingly abandoned. Only one of their books was written in ordinary ink, and seemed to be a deranged record of their experiments and failing sanity. We chose not to read it through to the end, but earlier entries provided useful information. The Lapis books, apparently, contain coded stories, incomprehensible memories of great magic from before the dawn of the world. These stories bring about magical effects that can be controlled and applied to make equipment and tools more useful, more powerful, but the toll on the mind of the one who exchanges their own memories to create these stories is far too great. Nevertheless, we took as many of the enchanted books as we could carry. Desperate times. Whew. Right then. Sorry, exchanging memories for ancient memories? Memories of magic. Blue. Gold. More common in the Badlands, this metal makes worse quality tools than iron, but is still valued greatly for its beauty. Magic seems to flow through it faster. So, gold is more magically conductive. Yeah, I see no reason for that not to be the case. Some say there were once visitors from a distant land who would trade for it. That makes sense, actually, because gold coins is in most worlds. Yeah, most worlds I visit, gold coins are the currency. It's interesting that emeralds, the eyes of the mountains, are here. Wrapping gold around carrots like a skin somehow greatly increases their nutritional value. Golden carrots. And Oh, what's the point? Who's going to read this? Oh, no. Oh, no, come on. Don't. Tell me this informational book just turns into someone's lamenting... Aha! Despair no more! Oh, good. A cure has been found, presumably for the zombies, by adding a thick skin of gold to an apple. Golden apple. But it is proving difficult to subdue the infected for long enough to have them eat it. It would seem that many of the lost are indeed lost, but it no longer feels like the end somehow. Well, that's lovely. One page left, and one mineral that I already know about that hasn't been mentioned yet. Diamond. Deep, deep underground they are found. These gems sparkle with a light likened to soul fire by those who have seen it, and can be fashioned into vastly superior armor and tools. We will survive! And the rest of the pages of this book are blank. This is... It talks about being published, but it's still an incomplete book. This looks like someone's notes. It's not even signed with a name or... Okay, so it gives a complete maybe guide to things that you can dig up. Yes, that's right. Actually, if I think about it, it was... Let's see this. It was... The book was buried with these items. This incomplete, these notes, this book that hasn't been published yet, but seems to indicate that people of this village live on elsewhere, maybe. That they, either from here or somewhere else where something like this happened, people escaped. They travelled, they kept writing their books, they buried their treasures and their food and their notes. Heart of the Sea. This feels different. This feels different. This doesn't feel like Heart of the Sea, because the oars come from under the earth, whereas... I don't know. But this looks interesting, and potion, like they mentioned enchanting books, but other kinds of magic? They didn't even mention, was this invented when that happened as well, or... Water breathing, I want to test it, but I also don't want to waste it, because it could be useful. Well, I suppose keep this book as well. Burning indefinitely, huh? Good for you. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do will be storage, I promise. Meow meow. This room is getting a bit too cramped. There's a perfectly good house next door. That building there is going to become my storage building as soon as possible. So, good to know what I'll be doing next then. And once I'm all organised, and once I maybe explore some of those deep caves, get some more of that iron, and, well, make some better tools than stone, apparently. Yes, I have plenty to do from now on. I'd best get to it then.